Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about why is sparring so important, whether that's sword sparring like me or sparring in any other martial art. So why do we spar? It's a very good question because often we spend a lot of money to buy expensive gear like this, to buy expensive swords that look like this, and also to pay money to go to classes where we get beat up. And so people ask, well, why do you spar? And surprisingly, the answer is not just to beat the other person up. So often it's stated that we spar so that we can test our techniques against a non-compliant opponent. And I think that that's very important, and it is a big part of sparring. But I don't think it's the big reason why we do sparring. At least not for me, it's not. I think there's a bigger reason than that. Because if it were just to test ourselves against a non-compliant opponent, we could do technical sparring where we don't make contact, or we could spar using, not realistic weapons like this, but with foam safety weapons like this, where they're soft and they're bendy and they don't hurt. So why do we spar with realistic weapons? Why do we hit each other? And why does it have to hurt at least a little bit? So I think it comes down to training our mindset. So in times of stress, then I think people have three reactions: fight, flight, and floppy. So the fight and flight reaction is relatively self-explanatory. Fight reaction, when stress comes on, then you get amped up and you have a sympathetic response and you fight back against it. Now the flight response, when the stress comes up, you run away and you get as far away from it as you can. And the third response is a little bit less known, but still along the same vein, which is floppy. So you freeze up, you lock up, and you do absolutely nothing productive. And in the modern day and age, where our stresses aren't a bear coming at you or someone coming at you with another sword, then it's very easy to do floppy. So the question comes, in times of stress, which of the three is the best option? And a lot of people would say fight, because you at least do something productive. And I would argue none of them. The right response is to stay calm, to analyze the situation, and not have a fight, flight, or floppy response, but to calmly think through things and pick the best course of action from there. And this is exactly the reason why I do sparring. Because what bigger stress is there than someone coming at you with a sword trying to cause you harm? And if I can stay calm during that situation, calmly analyze what they're doing, what strike is coming in, and how I can best block and counter that, then I think I can stay calm in virtually any other situation. Be that stresses at work, stresses in my personal life, stresses in relationships, so on and so forth. And I think this is a really important reason to do sparring, because the other reason, the first reason for sparring, where you test your techniques against a non-compliant opponent, that's very good in a martial arts sense. But once when you leave the dojo, then it doesn't go with you, because hopefully you don't need to put your martial arts experience into good use in your personal daily life. But this reason, sparring to train your reactions to stress, it does go with you. Every day you experience stress, and you get to choose how you respond to it. And if you can respond calmly and choose a good approach to it, and then create the best course of action, then that's something that will help you every single day of your life. And that's the reason why I spar. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you go and you do some sparring and think about why you spar, and don't just train your reaction speed and reaction time, but try and train your mindset and your reactions to stresses. So with that, I'll see you next time.